TechRabbit here again. Thought I'd look around and see if I can find some Rust toolkits for building user interfaces, because Rust itself doesn't contain any user interface building tools. So let's have a look. So anyway, the way I approached this is I thought, well, you know, AI is quite useful. In some cases I thought I'd use AI to produce some kind of suggested list of different toolkits, crates to look at. So let's have a look at that. So anyway, the first thing I did is I have access to, or I'm using currently, two AI platforms. One of them is DeepSeek, and the other one is ChatGPT, where I have actually a subscription. So I formulated a questionnaire, or a question. It looks like this. So I said, identify Rust user interface crates that show evidence of being maintained and have up-to-date releases. That is, code in GitHub is not a lot newer than the releases. So it means they've actually made releases on it. And then list in the order based on the number of GitHub stars, so you know, the best rating comes on top. And then don't include projects where there's some evidence in the text or something that the project has already been abandoned, or there is a plan to abandon. So anyway, we won't wait for the scrolling list to complete. But this is how I did the initial thing. I did this both in DeepSeek and ChatGPT, and then I combined the list, and then I did my own interpretation of it to finalize the list. So after some manual rough evaluation and other brief thoughts, then I boiled down the list to this. So these are the toolkits and crates that I will be looking at in more detail. And then I tried to think of what would be kind of the evaluation points that I'd use against each of them. So I'd like to check when was their last release of the project, and then the number of GitHub stars, and then have a little bit of look at the development activity, if it's still active or is it dead. And then look into, is it like multi, or does it have multiple OS platform support, so you can run it on Windows and Linux or on different, And then I'm actually mainly interested in Windows, so I actually would like to have a native look and feel on Windows. But this could also apply to other platforms, like does it have a native look and feel option. And then see if it supports web application so does it support web application development? So that means that you can use it to develop web applications. It's not my main focus right now, but I'd like to just put a checkpoint if it can or cannot do it theoretically. And then any documentation. Lots of the projects that I've come across, they have absolutely zero documentation. And then also setup, because some of the projects are quite difficult to get them up and running, because they are very much dependent on, some of them are very dependent on, I would say toolkits that are not part of Rust to be installed in the correct locations with the correct configuration to get them working. And some of them are that you just, you create the cargo configuration and then it works. And there was one item that I actually forgot from the list, and that's examples. Are there any examples included? And sadly, many of these toolkits have relatively little examples, or if they have examples, they are for the version of the toolkit that is already bypassed and been developed to the next version, and they have not consistently been checking if the examples even run anymore, which is a bit sad. So anyway, it'll be evaluated based on that. And then after we basically covered all the points above, then also try to implement something. So I thought that would be the kind of a balanced implementation that doesn't take too long, but should be possible to get running quite quickly. So I think that we do a simple message box for every toolkit. And if it's not possible to create a message box application, then there's absolutely no hope of being able to create any kind of other kind of application. So that'll be the test. So my thought is that I'm going to make a video for each and every one in the list, and then go through these points, reviewing it, and then actually show the simple message box application and discuss how it felt to develop it with it, and how easy it was to get up and running, and so forth. And hopefully then at the end of the process of going through them all, then one can make a decision on one or two toolkits to actually use. And of course, what toolkit one selects is a bit biased towards what one wants to achieve. So I will, when I select my toolkits, then it may or may not be exactly the ones that somebody else would choose, because it depends what they're doing. But if you follow in the race, then you might be able to say, oh, but I found this other toolkit to be better for what I'm doing, so then you can actually pick it. So I suggest you just hang on the train, and yeah, maybe you'll find it useful. See you in the next one.